but good evening. I am Danny Ray Barton, and I am the director of the Corporate Work Study Program for Cristo Rey, and specifically Cristo Rey Fort Worth High School. So I'm going to ask you guys to think about when you were in high school. Think about the traditions, the friendships, the teachers, all those things. Maybe you went to where your parents went to high school, or maybe your kids went to where you attended. Now, think of those traditions and the friendships and all those great things and all those wonderful things that we also have at Cristo Rey schools. But our goal is for our students, our alumni, to not send their children to our schools. Because at Cristo Rey, what we are hoping to do is transform the trajectory of our families. And so that way, they actually aren't even qualified to go to our high schools. And so the way we do this, as Cristo Rey Fort Worth and all our Cristo Rey schools, we're part of a network of 35 private Catholic college prep high schools who serve families of limited economic means. And we do this through providing 4 years of rigorous college prep curriculum with 4 years of relevant corporate work study experience. And so our students, they come in as freshmen and they go to classes, but also 1 day a week they go to work. And they work in places like law firms, banks, hospitals as entry-level employees. And these students are actually earning the majority of the cost of their education. For example, our new school in Fort Worth, our 75 freshmen, they each earned $8,000 this year towards the cost of their education. So $600,000 just this year alone. Across our network of 3,400 partners, our students this year earned $68 million towards the cost of their education, because this is an opportunity that provides them to change their future. And the thing is, it was funny, when this program first started, it started out of Chicago, and like a lot of things, it started with a Jesuit priest, and he said, how can I help people and how can I do this? And he's honest. He said at first it started with, we got to keep the lights on and we got to be able to provide a quality education for these students and families in the Pilsen community. What they started to see were these students were placed in a different world, a world that they didn't see every day. And they started to realize that I can belong there. I have to work really, really hard to get there, but I can do it. And so it's been amazing to see the support of our corporate community, both in Dallas and Houston and in Fort Worth, where our 3 schools are in Texas, just how they've committed to these students and their future. But I think if you talk to any of our corporate partners, they'll equally talk to you about the impact these students have had on their culture and their community, just because they come in and they're excited. And for our students, it's a sacrifice. You'll see one of our volunteer opportunities up here is what we call Grit Academy in Fort Worth. So our freshmen actually have to report to us July 16th. And from July 16th through August 2nd, after they've already gone through a rigorous academic process, they attend Grit Academy, which stands for Grace, Responsibility, Integrity, and Tenacity. And instead of taking their math classes, their English classes, they're taking communication skills in the workplace. So the first day, it's how do I shake someone's hand, look them in the eye? What does networking mean? By the end of it, they're giving a 3-minute elevator pitch about themselves and their school. They're taking technology in the corporate workplace. What does it mean? They have professional speaker series that come in, which is another volunteer opportunity of ours. So again, it's getting these students to have that confidence, but also we're matching them in these positions so they can be, it is a win-win for the company as well as the student side of it. One of the things that I think, though, at the end of the day that's important is this gives our students an access to opportunity. But she had mentioned that 2.5 times the students from Cristo Rey graduate from college. You hear a lot of high schools talk about it's 100% college acceptance rate. That's phenomenal. But the statistic that I want to point out for Cristo Rey schools is 92% of our graduates across the country actually enroll in college after graduation. 78% of high-income students enroll in college. And so our students, through the work study experience, through the amazing academic rigor, through people like you who spend time with them, we're truly changing their ability. And it's funny, y'all have that, I can't remember what that first slide is. What is it? To be alive, we need people. Sorry, I'm messing up your quote, aren't I, Brian? But that's really our mission at Cristo Rey. You can read the mission statement that we all put on our websites, but our mission is to help our students become fully alive. And to do that, they're just looking for an access to opportunity. So I love to talk to you more about it. I could talk all night, you could probably guess. But really, if you look at the volunteer opportunities, especially, and she had talked about our Dallas school, which is amazing. They are always looking for help, but I will say they're in their 4th year. So they have some things established already in their mentoring programs, which is fantastic. In Fort Worth, we are also looking for a lot of great opportunities, such as everything from student interaction. I mentioned our Grit Academy, but also we have plenty of committee and also board opportunities. We're looking for business development, social media, marketing, pretty much you name it, and our new school in Fort Worth is looking for it. So if you're interested, we'd love to get you connected to members of our staff, members of our board, and other committees here. So thank you all so much for the time. Glad the music didn't start. Thank you guys for being here.